the United States broke apart Sudan. Why? Well, Sudan was an enemy of Israel, so we have to break apart Sudan. So we supported the South Sudanese.
And civil war in both Sudans and a bigger humanitarian catastrophe than Gaza, the usual stuff you'd expect from US political interference. But that's not even the story here. The story is that South Sudan, which you just saw Prof. Jeffrey Sachs describe as a US pet project, created on behalf of the country that shall not be named, has officially accepted a new role as the empire's garbage bin. So you might remember a few weeks ago when I reported that the Trump administration was holding talks with several countries across Africa and the global south to accept its third country deportees. That is, deportees who come from neither the country they're being deported from nor the country they're being deported to. These included violent convicted criminals, including murderers, rapists, child molesters, drug traffickers, human traffickers, basically America's human trash. People who are such bad news that even their own countries of origin rejected them. But earlier this month, South Sudan accepted 8 of these third country deportees from the US, sparking furious reactions around the African continent. The US Department of Homeland Security then put out a statement openly crowing over this newly demonstrated ability to use someone else's country on the other side of the planet as some kind of holding warehouse for America's most unwanted. Just look at the honor roll. Murderer, armed robber, murderer again, drug trafficker, child sex offender, murderer again, sex offender who took advantage of a person living with special needs. Oh my God. It's the human trash Avengers. And South Sudan gratefully accepted this honor. When pressed, the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs doubled down with a statement explaining why becoming the new home for a group of violent offenders so horrible that their own countries refused to take them was a good idea. The statement read, "The government of South Sudan recalls with great appreciation the long-standing support extended by the United States during the country's struggle for self-determination, the 2011 referendum, and our post-independence development. In the spirit of mutual respect, support, understanding, and solidarity, South Sudan responded positively to a request from the US authorities as a gesture of goodwill, humanitarian cooperation, and commitment to mutual interests." Now, some additional context here is that in March, the US State Department issued a Do Not Travel Level 4 travel advisory for South Sudan. But apparently someone at South Sudan's foreign ministry seems to be under the impression that the country that upgraded them to red status has any interest in humanitarian cooperation and commitment to mutual interests, which is either hilarious or just sad. Either way, the message from the US government is clear. Whoever lends their freedom fight or independence struggle to become a tool in Uncle Sam's global game of empire has signed a contract for a permanent existence as a junior vassal state to the empire. And by junior vassal states, I mean despised and disregarded human landfill sites for dumping the kind of people who sexually assaulted children and people living with mental disabilities. Best of luck to South Sudan. They're gonna need it.